Good day, everyone. I am Justine Narte, and I will continue the discussion under Unit 4, Focus on Classroom Processes under the Environmental Factors Affecting Motivation. So parents support and help the children. So parents who are actively involved in their children's education can have a good long-term impact on their children's ability to learn. Next, children's short-term cognition improves their social and emotional development. It improves when they receive high quality early learning and care. Similarly, it would aid a long-term academic professional performance of the child. So our lesson objectives: explain what is parent support, list the ways to support a child, and recognize and involve parenting. So parents as part of the learners and human learning environment. So the students attended schools for at least 6 hours a day. The remainder of his or her time spent at home. As a result, parents are meant to have more time with their children than the teachers. So parents' involvement typically involves parents' behavior in home. In a school setting, it means that there is a support to their children's educational progress. It measures, or the parents measures the involvement of them and commonly include the quality and frequency of communication with teachers as well as participation in school functions and activities. So the question is, how many of our parents make the best of these ways to assist their children with their studies? What behavioral characteristics of parents promote their children's learning? So parents' involvement play a critical role as a student in academic success. We all know that. When you work with parents, you get extra support needed to help struggling children turn around their performance. You also encourage a lifelong love of learning in every student, creating more engaged and excited learners. We as a student we need support from our parents. So what are the uh, types or kinds or characteristics of parents who are supportive of their children and the ways of learning that are observed is the following. They should keep track of their children's progress. One of the main questions we get from parents at school is how to keep up to date on their children's progress. The academic year moves quickly, and most families will come to the school once or twice a week, I think. So they should follow up their children's academic progress. Make sure they check or we check the result of children's academic performance. It will give us a very quickly sense of what our child is catching up on quickly and what she is or maybe is struggling with at school. For example, report cards. Uh, many report cards can be sent home every quarterly, and sometimes the teachers will set a meeting that will parents will come to the school and classroom they will have and they will meet and check the children's academic performance. This way, the connecting gives parents tangible evidences of their children's academic progress. Next is they should supervise their children's homework and project. Of course, it's important to check her child's assignment book, just like planner, agenda, assignment project tasks. We can measure their intelligence, their uh, how they cooperate in school, how they learn and how they progress, and how they are expertise in one subject area. We can supervise that by that. Next is we should inspect our children's school notebooks. In general, homework can help children practice skills, work on projects, and learn time management. You can help by making time and space for homework, helping them get organized and being positive. It doesn't mean that you're going to help the child, doesn't mean that you're going to give the answer to the child. It's not like that. You're just going going to guide him or her. So we should go through the children's corrected sit in work and exam papers. So when parents can support their children in acquiring knowledge, it teaches them the importance of learning. And that's what a lot of other people mentioned. Supporting your children does not mean, as I've said earlier, it does not mean you're giving them the answer. It means motivating them to take appropriate actions and finding the answer by themselves along the way. Okay? Of course, we should be willing to invest in children's initiatives and participate in school activities. Next is, are we willing to take an active role in school community projects for our childs? When required, we should consult with the instructors. A parent-teacher conference is a great opportunity. Just like I've said that teachers can call meetings at school. It is great to share academic progress and growth based on the classroom observation, examination, the testing of data and assessments with the teacher and the students. By this, are we aware of their children's school activities? We should be aware what a child are involving in a school so we can check what behavior have or has the child have. Next is, we should invite your children's mate or friends into our houses. With that, with the friends, we can see the wide range of interests and activities that your child may begin to spend less time at home. By knowing your just close friend, you will learn a lot by your child. I personally I share many things with my friends that my family don't know. So as I've read online, most experts agree that while parents can and should be friendly towards their kids as well as fun to have a hangout or bonding, at the end of the day, there is still need to accept the role as a parent and not as a friend. Kids need boundaries, rules, and guidance. Always remember that. You should set boundaries, rules, and guidance for your children. But aside from having a good characteristics as parents, there are also an involved parenting. Sometimes it refers to the neglected parenting. It's a style. Sometimes actually a style characterized by a lack of responsiveness to a child's need. Uninvolved parenting make a few to no demands of their children and they are often indifferent. I can even say it's dismissive or even completely neglectful. If you are like yes, you don't have the right to be a parent. You should have and you should know the responsibility of being a parent. This is the things and least of the uninvolved parenting. They do not respond well to the needs of their children and provide little affection. Sometimes they don't even provide the support they need or the love that the children need. They also make very few demands on their children. They rarely set rules and do not offer guidance and expectation for the children's behavior. So first, some parents act emotional distant from their children. So as I've said earlier, they are dismissive. They are dismissive or overwhelmed when the child has an emotional need. They are not interested in the child's life. For example, the child's interests, friends in groups, schoolworks, and etc. They have difficulty in expressing their feelings. Even we are adults. They are unable or unwilling to provide comfort during emotional distress. Some parents limit their interactions with their children because they are too overwhelmed by their own problems. In some cases, parents may be so wrapped up with their own problems. For example, being overworked, coping with depression, struggling with substance abuse. Those are that they are actually fail to see how involved they are with their children. And they're simply able to provide the emotional support their children need. Next is they not provide little or no supervision at all. Situations where a parent tries to uh, associate or their guilt of not spending enough time with their child by giving it to the child's demands create guilt, rhythm pattern of giving and take in the relationship. Similarly, when a parent spends too much time at home, they tend to feel exhausted from the resentless caregiving and end up angry or irritable with the child frequently. We can observe that at a home that some of the parents, if they're busy, they can give proper supervision of the child because they are too busy. And sometimes they get irritably because of the child's what we say makulit. So what happens when there is no parental supervision? This is a question. So the answer is children who grow up in a home which lack parental supervision often have low self-esteem. This lack of confidence make it difficult and hard to establish relationship with peers. And these children may be easy to be influenced or lured into bad activities. So it is important to have proper supervision to our childrens. Next is they set few or no expectation or demand for the behavior, regardless of your situation. It is important to make sure that you send consistent care message and affection to your child through your actions on what is or isn't permissible or not changes based on the other factor like parental fatigue or guilt. So they even show love or little warmth of love and affection towards their children. It is important to give your child love and affection. We, I personally, even we're adults, even we're old enough, we need affection, of course, from our parents since we are our parents. It is important to love and affection to be happy, to feel the pleasure of being loved. Love and affections are essential, of course, to us as an adult. It is also super essential to our children's growth and to our children's growing. Love and affection keeps the child's healthy brain development. A child's feelings about themselves, how confident they are, and how they will cope up with some problems, stress, and strugglings. They are all affected by the words of parents how to respond them. So it's important to show love and affection and fix our behavior towards our children. And lastly, sometimes parents skip school event and parents teacher conference. As I've said, it's important to attend parents conferences and meetings since we can track our children's progress through this. So I will leave a quotation. There are no perfect parents. A negative action, on the other hand, is expected to have a long-term effect for your child. Sorry. What you do over time is most essential in being an effective parent. So there is no perfect parents. Many people believe in the myth of the perfect parents, but the thing is, there is no such thing. The ideal mother and the father who is happy, well-adjusted, problem-free, and children, in truth, there's no such person as perfect parents or perfect child. So, as of that, we should love our parents. We should love or take our actions. We should see how we act towards our children. Always remember, they are our children and you are our parents. So remember, there is no perfect parents. That ends under my discussion. Thank you for listening. Again, this is Mark Justin Narte.